Our gospel reading for today is from John chapter 1 verses 19 to 28. And this is the testimony of John, when the Jews sent from Jerusalem priests and Levites to him, to ask him, "Who art thou?" And he confessed, and did not deny, and he confessed, "I am not the Christ." And they asked him, "What then? Art thou Elias?" And he said, "I am not." "Art thou the prophet?" And he answered, "No." They said therefore unto him, "Who art thou, that we may give an answer to them that send us? What sayest thou of thyself?" He said, "I am the voice of one crying out in the wilderness, Make straight the way of the Lord, as said the prophet Isaias." And they that were sent were of the Pharisees. And they asked him, and said to him, "Why then dost thou baptize, if thou be not Christ, nor Elias, nor the prophet?" John answered them, saying, "I baptize with water, but there hath stood one in the midst of you, whom you know not. The same is he that shall come after me, who is preferred before me, the latchet of whose shoe I am not worthy to loose." These things were done in Bethania, beyond the Jordan, where John was baptizing. Reflection for today's Gospel. The passage illuminates the interactions between John the Baptist and the religious leaders of his time. This section begins with the Jewish authorities sending priests and Levites to question John. The authorities inquire whether John is the Messiah, Elijah, or the prophet, and John's responses provide profound insights into his humility, purpose, and understanding of his role in God's plan. John the Baptist's humility is striking. Despite the crowd's eagerness to ascribe grand titles to him, he firmly denies being the Christ, Elijah, or the prophet. Instead, he humbly identifies himself as the voice crying out in the wilderness, preparing the way for the Lord. This humility is a powerful lesson in staying true to one's purpose without seeking personal glory or recognition. Moreover, John's clarity of purpose is admirable. He acknowledges his role as a forerunner, preparing the people for the coming of someone greater than himself. His dedication to his mission demonstrates unwavering faith and commitment to fulfilling God's plan. John's responses also prompt introspection about our own roles in God's larger narrative. Just as John recognized his purpose and played his part faithfully, it challenges us to reflect on how we contribute to God's plan in our lives. Are we faithfully fulfilling the roles God has entrusted to us, or are we seeking recognition and validation for our own ambitions? Additionally, this passage highlights the danger of missing God's work due to preconceived notions. The religious leaders expected a specific answer that aligned with their understanding of prophecy. However, John's responses challenged their assumptions, urging them to open their hearts and minds to God's unexpected ways. In essence, the gospel invites us to embody humility, embrace our unique roles in God's plan, and remain open to God's workings, even if they challenge our expectations. It serves as a reminder that our purpose is not to seek personal glory but to faithfully serve in God's grand design, just as John the Baptist did, preparing the way for the coming of Christ. Today's prayer. Dear Father, thank you for giving us a model of humility in John the Baptist. Help us to be humble like him, not focusing upon ourselves but fixing our gaze on Jesus Christ. Help us to lead others to Jesus, not only by our words but also by our actions. Let us be witnesses through living holy lives filled with good deeds for our neighbors. May we never forget to let others know the good news of God's salvation, especially during our time when the world is gradually forgetting about God. May our lives be a shining beacon amidst the darkness of this secular world. Like John, may our voices be heard in proclaiming faith, hope and love. Amen.